All right, thank you everybody for joining. So we bring you a new webinar today. We are going to talk about how to unlock the profitable path to RPA success, how to build a successful RPA business, your roadmap to delivering customer value. Okay. So your speaker for today is me, Thiago Carlucci. I'm the head of global campaign marketing for ElectroNeek. It's a pleasure to be with all of you here today. Just a quick agenda for what we have. We're going to talk about the automation market and opportunities, recurring revenue and why it's important, your path to success and what does that look like, the ElectroNeek platform, and a quick Q&A at the end. So make sure you drop your questions in the chat or in the Q&A so that we look at them at the end of the session, okay? All right, so starting off, business needs have changed. Yeah, we have started one of the latest business revolutions, that is automation. Yeah, we've come a long way from those big bulky computers in the 90s. And then cloud computing was one of the revolutions during the 2000s and 2010s, Internet of Things and so on. And now we are in the age of automation. Everything is on demand and available. Every transaction that we do generate thousands of data points, and we need some efficient tools to deal with all of those data points, right? It's just a ton of data being generated on a daily basis, and automation plays a key role and will continue to evolve as we move forward in the 2020s and beyond. Yeah, intelligent automation, what are companies doing? Right, we can see here what the tools, the technology portfolio that companies are adopting to support their intelligent automation strategy. So we see RPA, 78% of respondents here. This is a research done by Deloitte. 78% of respondents are already implementing RPA. OCR, which is optical character recognition, 51% already adopting AI. So the famous chat GPTs and so on and so forth. AI, 34% already adopting, and low code tools, 24%. So we see a different number of technology and solutions being adopted, RPA being the biggest one. We can see that here, that automation is a growing market. And here we have the RPA market, software and services, from 21 until 25, a data by Forrester. We can see the RPA market reaching up to $22.5 billion by 2025. So it is an opportunity for you, MSPs and IT service providers, to capitalize on this growth moving forward. Yeah. And there's a huge opportunity because traditional RPA vendors, they actually focus on large enterprises with big budgets and lengthy projects. You can see on this pyramid that you have the large enterprises and the large enterprise RPA vendors like UiPath, Automation Anywhere, and the other ones. They actually focus on that small part of the pyramid. 80% of the RPA market, however, is in the SMB. So there is a huge opportunity to grow RPA as a service focused on the SMB market. And you have these other vendors, they do not attack this market. Here you have ElectroNeek, and this is where ElectroNeek can really support you. And this is where the opportunity for you to really make money is, having RPA as a service or automation as a service for the mid-market, for SMBs. And why enterprise vendors fail to deliver to SMBs? Because they have an entry barrier, a high entry barrier with fees and infrastructure, that they end up blocking your access. You as an IT service provider are blocked by these traditional RPA vendors, right? And you need a better solution to take to the SMB market. So there's a new way of doing business. And with ElectroNeek, you have total control over your RPA service business, your automation service business. So as we see here, on the left side, we have ElectroNeek, yeah, and the hub architecture that we offer in the platform, so Automation Hub, Business Hub, and Service Hub. In the middle, we have the IT service providers, and on the right side, we have the end users. So you see that ElectroNeek does not move to the end of the supply chain here. We do not even touch or even talk to your end users. Everything that is client facing is the ownership of the IT service provider. There are no fees, there are no usage fees or bot licenses and so on. It's just a one-time cost for using the platform, and everything that you do in terms of your service business to your clients is your ownership, it's your profit, it's your responsibility. Yeah, so you have this cycle of bots and money happening all for you, and ElectroNeek enables you to do that. Yeah. In terms of platform cost in your revenue, with ElectroNeek, you can price cheaper and yet make more money, because you see this orange part here, this is all cost. On other players, you have huge infrastructure, bot license, orchestration, development license costs, and smaller margins. In the case of ElectroNeek, you have a much lower cost, and everything else is your margin. We don't charge bot license, but you can charge that bot license to your end users and incorporate that into your margins. So again, you can price cheaper and yet make more money with ElectroNeek. So it's extremely competitive RPA enabling proposition that we have in the market today. Yeah. So huge opportunity to build sustainable recurring revenue. I would like to talk a little bit about that. This is part of unlocking value, or the path to success is having that subscription model for sustainable recurring revenue. So let's look at that and how that looks like. We have comparing go-to-market models, right? So on one side, you have the traditional project-based one-time payment model. And on the other side, you have the subscription or the recurring revenue model. Let's dive in a little bit deep. What is the project-based model? You only get paid once, right? The initial project costs, design, development, and deployment are all basically one payment to you from the customer. Yeah, it's usually known as a traditional model. There's an initial large down payment, but it's one time and non-recurring. It's a high upfront cost. That means also a high barrier of entry for the client. Usually you deliver your IP to the client. It's like, it's not a service, it's usually a project. So you implement it, there's a one-time payment, and all of that IP is also delivered. And it's becoming less and less popular. What we advocate for and what we enable to do is the second model, which is the subscription model for recurring revenue. Basically, what does that mean? All project costs are diluted into monthly payments. So everything from development, design, and all of the architecture that involves that, and then the deployment, all of those costs are diluted into monthly installments. Okay, so that is the RPA as a service model. No upfront payment from the customer, mid-sized tickets, but 100% recurring and long-term. The cost barrier is low for the end user, which allows entry into SMBs. That's where the beauty of this thing happens, this model. You have a lower entry ticket, a lower barrier of entry, and so you can offer RPA as a service to the mid-market. The mid-market is huge. It's avid for automation. You have a lot of small and mid-sized companies out there that need automation to survive. This subscription model with the ElectroNeek platform will give you a green field of opportunities to explore. You can start with smaller process and expand within the client. And the MSP, or the IT service provider, also retains the intellectual property. You're not selling the bot, you're actually renting the bot out, so that IP, that intellectual property, is yours and you can protect it and license it. Yeah. In terms of cash flow, what does the visually speaking, what does it look like, the difference between the project-based model and the subscription-based model? So as you see, this orange part here is project-based model. You have that big one-time payment. Eventually, you have some small incremental maintenance revenue, but it's usually that huge one-time payment up front. You deliver the project, and eventually you charge some small maintenance. The green area, however, is the subscription-based model. And that's where you have an ever increasing amount of cash flow, because you can start small, you can upsell, you can have a bigger portfolio of clients. So that's what we advocate for, and that's what we enable you to do, to have that long-term recurring revenue, cash flow stability, cash flow visibility, which is awesome for your business, and even for your business evaluation if you plan on eventually selling your business, let's say. Yeah. And just a summary here, what are the advantages of the RPA as a service model? Yeah, so we have retention of clients for the long-term relationship, reduced sales cycles with the lower price level, with the lower entry barrier, you have quicker sales cycles, and recurring revenue streams. So we tend to talk about this, the 3 R's. Yeah, retention, rapid sales cycles or reduced sales cycles, and recurring revenues. Okay, and we would like to bring you your path to revenue with automation. How does that look like? What have we seen in the market, and what have we seen from our most successful clients that are implementing RPA as a service today? What have we seen that works for them and that could be a path to success? So step number 1 would be to automate the everyday tasks your IT team spends time on. So you have trained RPA experts, free up resources, and have reduced costs. So basically an internal RPA implementation to your own processes. As a second step, offer ElectroNeek standard cases to your clients. I mean, we have inside our platform, we have what we call the recipes. And those recipes are pretty much pre-built bots that you can offer, you can implement internally, and then you can offer those standard use cases, let's say, to your clients as well. And as a third step, develop your own cases and acquire new clients. Okay, so what we have seen from our most successful clients or most successful IT service providers that are working with ElectroNeek today is that they have moved from, they have started with an internal implementation of automation in their own processes first. They moved on to selling that automation to their own customer base. And as a third step, a go-to-market strategy to conquer the market. Yeah. So let's dive a little bit into each of these steps. So automate your internal processes. A very efficient way to start your RPA journey is to implement RPA internally. You increase your efficiency, become much more productive, reduce costs and increase your margins. You train your staff and your automation developers. This is very important because you get hands-on knowledge throughout your team. You have your own showcase of automation. Yeah, you have your results and your success cases to actually pitch that to your customers, and you gain confidence before delivering to customers. So internal implementations is extremely rich in accelerating your learning curve. Yeah, here are some common use cases to start from. 99% of businesses need automation in their everyday applications, and we have a bunch of different use cases in 7 categories that you can start from, that we suggest that you start from. So legacy automation, for example, you have the legacy systems that do not have native integration with a bunch of different apps, and you can use RPA for that. Limitless SaaS automation, also a bunch of different SaaS applications that do not have native integration, and RPA is extremely useful in that sense. Document processing, reporting. We've seen that basically 70% of all automations at some point touch a spreadsheet. So reporting is also a common use case for RPA usage. Sales enablement, you have Outreach, LinkedIn, Salesforce, a bunch of different CRM systems where RPA and automation comes in very handy. Web scraping, this is very famous, very common use case with e-commerce business, where you need to extract data from a website, either product features or pricing and so on. Yeah, using eventually OCR, optical character recognition. And user management, this is very common use case as well for human resources departments that have to manage credentials and so on. So there's a bunch of different use cases to start internally. And then as a second step, automate tasks for your own customer. Yeah, it's much easier to start with your own customer base than going after new customers at first. Yeah. So you already have a relationship with your customers. You know their pain points and their automation needs. You can automate the services that you provide to them. So you have customers, you have a portfolio of services that you already provide. You can add RPA on top of that and automate those services. And that means a quicker return on investment as well. Here we bring a suggestion in terms of what pricing models can be used. So we call this the value-based pricing. And basically what this means is from the cost savings that you will provide to your customer through automation, you capture a part of that cost saving as value for your automation, as your pricing. Yeah. So imagine this graphic here. The first bar is no automation at all. This is the full process cost in the client. And the second line below is with automation. So you see that the process cost is a fraction. With automation, the process cost is a fraction of the total that it used to be. And all of that customer savings with automation is a potential for pricing your bot. What we have seen is that you can capture between 30 and 70% of that total amount of cost savings from your customers as your price model. Okay, so this is a little bit what we advocate for in terms of value-based pricing. And we also have in our platform and throughout our onboarding process, we have this assistance for you to be able to do this. Yeah. And then as a third step, source revenue from new customers. So now that you know the use cases and are confident on delivering RPA to your customers, prepare your go-to-market strategy. So sales enablement, so having your sales deck, your sales templates, your sales pitch, and so on. Marketing collaterals, ebooks, newsletter, blog posts, website, obviously working with videos. And then lead generation, inbound through social media and paid ads, and also outbound, right? Working with those reps on the phone, calling your potential customers. Here's an example of a structured inbound approach. So you have channels and assets, websites, YouTube, blog posts, social media, ebooks, podcasts, etc. So a bunch of different channels where you can communicate your assets. Usually those are gated assets, meaning that you have a form that the prospect will fill out with name, last name, email, phone number, etc., so that you have your SDRs calling or making that lead qualification and evaluation process, eventually even with qualification calls. And then those leads, this is where you separate just curious people from hot leads, and those hot leads will go to a sales team for negotiation. So this is just a quick example of a structured inbound process that you can have as a go-to-market strategy, okay? And what we have seen is that our most successful clients, they actually have a pretty well-structured marketing approach. So moving on, who is ElectroNeek? We are a digital automation platform focused on the growth of your business. Now, we serve MSPs and IT service providers on a global level. And how can ElectroNeek help you? We are the only one-stop shop you need to implement RPA for you and your customers. Yeah, we have best practices and insights from the market that we can share. We can focus our proof of concept or trial tailored to your needs. We identify, or we help you identify, the best time to value use cases. We even help you build your first bot and first internal implementation. We have a direct channel with our engineers on the support, on our support services channel that will help you build your first bots. And our platform has everything that you need. It's a very comprehensive platform approach with 3 hubs. Yeah, we have the hub architecture, as we call it. We have the automation hub, the business hub, and the service hub. Everything you need to build, sell, and support your automation service business. Yeah. So what is the automation hub? The automation hub is our development environment. It's a no-code tools environment that enables automation creation in a snap. You have the control center for bots that you create, free to download Bot Runner to launch unlimited bots for your customers, no additional charges for unattended bots, and you have API integration for any complex projects. It's important to mention that ElectroNeek does not charge any kind of usage fee or bot license. I mean, other vendors out there, they may say they don't charge per bot license, but if you look deeply, you will see that there is always some kind of usage fee. ElectroNeek does not have that. We have a one-time cost for the platform, access to the platform, and once you have access to the platform, you have unlimited scalability potential without any additional cost. Okay. Moving on, the Business Hub, it's a virtual MBA in RPA. Here's everything that you need in terms of sales and marketing collateral, all of the sales and marketing assets, the learning path, frameworks for success, and more. So everything that you need is in here to enable you to have a robust go-to-market strategy. Yeah. And then the Service Hub, technical support on demand. We have development support for your first RPA project, a structured in-depth help center, direct communication channel with tech support, and the community forum. So this is our after sales area, let's say, with a very strong support service. Yeah. Okay, Q&A. So, well, actually, before the Q&A, I would like to go ahead and put this this QR code here and ask you guys to go ahead and scan this QR code and book a meeting with us today. Yeah, we have our account executive standing by for a one-to-one discussion to show you more precisely how ElectroNeek can support your business, how ElectroNeek can have a customized approach to support your business. Go ahead and take a few minutes and scan that QR code so that you can go ahead and book a meeting with us. And additionally to that, we have this ebook that we came out with. It's Grow Your RPA Business. This will give you more insight into this path to success. So Carolina, please go ahead and drop the link to this ebook in the chat so everybody can have it. And we'll go ahead then and have a quick Q&A session. Let me see. Can you send this presentation, please? Absolutely. This presentation will be sent to everybody. Do you have study cases where these cost savings are demonstrated? Absolutely. We can, so on these one-to-one meetings with our account executives, they can walk you through use cases and recipes, as I mentioned, that we have in the platform, and show you the outcome of those. Yeah. A common question that we have, so the one-time cost, yeah, would you explain more about that one-time cost? So what I mean to say is you don't have any kind of usage fee or additional bot licenses. Yeah, traditional players, they actually have every bot that you develop, you have to pay an additional fee or an additional license. With ElectroNeek, you have access to the platform. When I mean a one-time cost is that cost to have access to the platform. You have access to the platform and you have unlimited amount of scalability. That's basically it. We have three plans today. We have bronze, silver, and gold. And then bronze, silver, and gold will give you different levels of access and different features inside the platform. Okay. So languages that we support, Java and Python. Okay. Although basically 80% of our automation is low code, no code, low code, very few usage of coding, but both languages are supported. All right. So one more time, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with the QR code. Again, guys, make sure that you scan this QR code, set up a meeting today with our account executives so that we can give you a one-to-one customized approach on how ElectroNeek can support your business. Okay. Also look out for our coming webinar that we have. We're going to do a demonstration, a technical demonstration on the 23rd of March. So Carolina, please go ahead also and drop that link to the webinar on the chat. So on March 23rd, there will be what we call a tech webinar. It's actually a product tour. We're going to do a demonstration of the full platform. So please make sure that you also go into that link that is here on the chat and register for that webinar. So I don't see any additional questions. Thank you everybody for joining. I will give you guys some time back in your day, and we'll see you on the next webinar. Thank you very much.